Now we'll continue with the point clipping concept. Point clipping. Till now what all we are discussing about the concept of clipping. We need to do clipping. What we are doing here under clipping is the part of a object which is not necessary that we are going to clip. Okay, fine. How we are going to clip that? Depending on that the boundary. Boundary is decided by us. That boundary what we have decided, that we will call it as a clipping window. That clipping window will be there. So in that clipping concept, as we have already discussed, under clipping we had three types. Those three types are, first one point clipping, second one is polygon clipping, and the third one is line clipping. Already we have seen this polygon clipping and line clipping. Now we will see the concept of point clipping. Now we will continue with the point clipping. How we can say how to clip that point from the clipping window. Okay, now we will continue with the point clipping. Here also we will consider that point where it is, like whether it is inside the window or outside the window. Inside the window or outside the window. First point or first point to be remembered here is whether the point is inside the window or outside the window, by seeing that or by identifying that a boundary. Suppose if the point is outside the window, then we have to consider a points. Say for example, in a window, as we have already seen, suppose if this is a window, means already we have introduced the terms called, like this is an x minimum, this is an x maximum, this is a y minimum point, and this is y maximum point. According to this, here where that point can be, that point should be an inside the window. If it is inside the window, that will be kept. Okay, suppose if it is an outside the window, that we should not consider. Only the point which is inside the window must be considered, which is an outside the window should not consider, and this will be named as rejecting a point. We must reject these points because of these points are outside the window. Okay, now if you consider a point, we cannot consider that all points together. Consider a point one by one. If you consider this point, assume that we'll give a name x comma y. What if you give x comma y means point somewhere within a window. Okay, that is depending on that the condition. Depending on that the condition means x must be less than or equal to x maximum. Okay, x must be greater than or equal to x minimum. Not only right side, that point can be wherever it may be. It may be an top side or bottom or left side, wherever it may be. We are not considering about the position of a point. We are considering about depending on that the window, where that point exactly. It may be an inside the window or it may be an outside the window. The same way, not only considering an x coordinate value, even we have that y coordinate value. For y coordinates also, y should be less than or equal to y maximum, and y should be greater than or equal to y minimum. These are the most important points to be remembered if we are having xy. Okay, and also point should also within a window. Within a window means that must be considered as an x and y coordinate value. For this also we'll be having a particular coordinate values. With respect to that, if that x value is less than or equal to x max, consider, and x value is greater than or equal to x min, consider. If y value is less than or equal to y max, we must consider. If y value is greater than or equal to y min, then we should consider. And if you want to consider that particular point, then that constraint whatever is there, that must satisfy all this condition. All these condition to be remembered. Point to be remembered here is all these condition must be true. Suppose if any of the condition is false, any of the condition is false, then reject. This is what is called as point clipping, which is a most important concept and also a type of clipping. Already we have seen that line clipping and the what is that, polygon clipping. Here this is one more type which is called as point clipping. Now we'll continue with the previous point clipping concept. What we had point clipping example we'll see now. How we can consider the example of point clipping? That is only to check the conditions. Now again we'll consider a window, number of points within a window and outside the window also. We'll give for any one point outside the window and any one point inside the window. So this is a x mean, as I said, this is x max, this is y mean, this is y max. Okay, we'll consider this point and we'll number this, assume that this is around 12 and this is around 10. Okay, and this just we are identifying this is a point given and even this is. Now I am checking only for this point. Okay, so now we'll consider, before going ahead, we'll take a coordinate values. The coordinate values are xw minimum is equal to, we'll start from 2, xw maximum is equal to, we'll take xw, yw minimum is equal to 4, yw maximum is equal to 16. Okay, these are the coordinate values. Now each point value we need to consider. Each point value, how we can consider that each point value? Now we'll take an example of x comma y value for one point. That x comma y value here is 12 comma 10. Okay, so according to the given constraint what we have, check that whether x is less than xw max, x is greater than equal to xw minimum, we have to check this, y is less than or equal to yw maximum, y is greater than or equal to yw minimum. So how to consider, how to check this? It should satisfy this condition. Check that x value is given 12, 12 is less than or equal to, what is xw max? 18. It satisfies. If this satisfies, say that this satisfies the condition, so we can consider that x coordinate value. What about y coordinate value? We need to consider y also. Okay, y is 10. If it satisfies with the first condition, again you have to check for second condition. 12 must be greater than or equal to xw mean, that is 2. 12 is greater than or equal to 2 within a boundary, so we can consider that. Next one, y. What we have y value? Y is 10. Okay, yw max is 4. W max is 16. Maximum value 16. So 10 is less than or equal to 16. So we can consider W max is okay, before that 10 is greater than or equal to yw mean. What is that yw mean? 4. 10 is greater than 4. So to be considered, because of all conditions are true, we can consider this point within a boundary. We can accept this. Okay, so now we'll continue with the concept again. We'll check for outside the boundary point also. Okay. Okay, now we'll check for outside the boundary. If you go for outside the boundary, actually speaking, we won't get values only. We can have x and y coordinate values, but this clipping window will be there, and this another window can also be there, but within a window means we can have a coordinate values to check. But if it is outside the window, we won't get that coordinate values itself, so we cannot consider this. This both will be rejected. XW, this will be 12 comma 10, this is considered.
Okay, this completes point clipping. Point clipping is nothing but till now what we have seen is polygon clipping and line clipping. If the line you have written from within a window, means we cannot say that line will be within a window only, because that line if you want to draw we require 2 points. While joining like that, from maybe one point is inside the window and other point is outside the window, due to that you may get that part of a line outside the window. So we have used some technique to clip. But here in a point clipping it doesn't happen, because number of points will be there. Either point can be within a window or point can be outside the window. If it is outside the window, just you can reject it. If it is inside the window, we should keep. To check that, actually we have the conditions. Whatever the that condition is based on that xw mean value and max value. Even xy coordinate values are here. We have 2 sets of xy, 3 sets of xy coordinate values. xw mean, xw max, along with xw like x value. Okay, we can name this as an xw. Then one more set of values here is xw mean comma yw mean, yw max, yw. This will be a second set of coordinate values. So these are the set of coordinate values to check the condition whether to keep that point or whether to reject that point. This almost completes the clipping concept.